The show will begin in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to episode 46 of Gears and Beers, the live portion of the live short-lived free podcast where three freedom-loving, gun-toting capitalist pigs talk about gear we love, gear we hate, gun industry news, and whatever the hell else we feel like. Tonight on the agenda, carry insurance from Palmetto State, electronic Form-4's, the Sig MCX Raptor, the JTAC Strybog Bullpup Lower, and a few other interesting tidbits. Our panel tonight is made up of Mr. Andrew Johnson, as always, Sam, the owner of Shyworks, and I'm your host, Box. This show is sponsored by Shyworks, Iowa's preferred Cerakote applicator, and Ballistic Imagery. Sam, what cool-ass things have you been doing at Shyworks?
Oh, well, just the usual, making boring guns look badass. Recently, today, what was I doing? I was working on a Republic of Texas AR, but that's all we do. The customers tell us how they want their gun to look, any idea they have, and we take it and make it a reality. Anywhere from one of the more recent ones I did that I just gave to Ballistic Imagery, actually for some photos, was a Carnage one. If you're familiar with the movie Venom, there's a character in there named Carnage, and we took a CZ and made that to look like it was from that movie. So also we do Glock backplates, mag bases, lasered magazines, patches, shirts, all sorts of goodies on shyworks.com. You can use coupon code LSLF10 and that'll get you 10% off everything in your cart on shyworks.com. So go check that out.
We are also brought to you by Ballistic Imagery, photography, videography, and wall art for those of us that love freedom. Take your business to the next level by giving it the look it deserves. They can provide you with product photos for your website, images for an advertisement, content for your social media, or even film a commercial. Or if you're just looking to hang something on your walls, check out ballisticimagery.com and use code GearsandBeers for 10% off your order. Ballistic Imagery, bulletproof quality. See for yourself on Facebook and ballisticimagery.com. Okay, the intro's done, folks. I see in the chat there, Miles says, the hold music is going to put me to sleep. Where's the hype? Not 30 seconds before, Miles, we were talking during that, and Johnson was like, boy, that music is going to put a guy to sleep. I guess I need to change the hold music. I'm sorry. I didn't want to like.
Yeah, you need something really get them hyped up and really happy to see us rather than falling asleep when we start talking.
Well, did you see the new introduction? I changed that.
I did. That's badass.
That's hyped up right there.
That is some hype. I'll agree with you there. That was pretty good. Good job, Box.
Thanks. I can't do everything. That's pretty much what I did today. Sam, what's that in your koozie there?
That is just the old well, it's not the old, but it's just the Bush Light hunting edition.
Boring.
Hunting edition can. Somebody bought it for me, actually. So this is how we pay for things amongst our friends in Iowa. You're like, how much you want for it? You're just like, give me a case of Bush Light. Sounds good, man. It's better. You can get a lot of shit accomplished with a case of Bush Light around this area.
Mm-hmm. The market's going to crash.
Really
and
surprised.
Bush Light is going to be the new currency in the Midwest.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cryptocurrency.
Especially with the apocalypse. So start stocking up.
Yeah.
You still got Bush Light, man. Hell yeah. You could freaking get all sorts of shit for that.
Yeah.
Wow. Prepping and just hoarding Bush Lights.
There you go.
I don't think they have much of a shelf life though, so.
Oh shoot.
You're gonna have
if they're refrigerated, they do.
You're gonna have to drink a lot of them.
Well, how long does beer last for when say you put it in your basement at 60 degrees? I'd say it lasts a pretty long time, wouldn't you? A couple of years.
It's not going to be very good, but
in the apocalypse, a Bush Light is, give it a couple of years. I'd definitely still drink it if it was
Hell yeah.
what was available. Yeah.
Damn right. Who cares if it's a little bit skunked? It'd still be delicious.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I was at my mom's house and I grabbed a beer out of the basement fridge and I was like, it was a Bud Light, and I looked at it and I was like, man, they haven't made these cans in like 3 years. Because, mom doesn't frequently stock the beer in the fridge,
Sure, yeah.
I was over there doing something for her, and I ran down there, grabbed a beer out of the basement fridge, and I was like, I know this is at least 3 years old. I drank it anyway. It was fine. I mean, it was a little, you could tell it was a little skunky, but it wasn't like, oh my God, that's gone bad. No.
Right. Yeah. True beer drinkers, it ain't going to matter.
Yeah.
What are you drinking, Box?
I'm not drinking anything tonight. I was going to go to the grocery store and get some stuff and make myself some hot toddies, but I didn't have time. I got caught up with some stuff. And
have you been sick for the last month?
I just got sick again after like Saturday. This is
Jesus Christ,
second time in 3 weeks, and I'm pretty upset about it.
Start taking your vitamins, dude.
You need to maybe instead of going to buy shit to make hot toddies, maybe, a gallon of orange juice, perhaps.
I have literally drank a gallon of orange juice. I drank a half gallon on Monday.
That's what he brought to the podcast on Sunday.
It was orange juice.
Yep.
And
that's a wise choice.
Hot toddies are known for curing colds, Johnson, as well.
Oh, yeah. Trust me.
I've used it before, and it was great.
My grandmother, anytime it was like, if you were over the age of 12, you were having a hot toddy for dinner if you were feeling like shit, because we're knocking that out right now.
Usually I only get sick, your normal amount of times a year, just a cold 2 or 3 times a year, but I don't know what the hell the first thing was that got me. Well, it must not have been a cold, but this is just a cold, and it's pretty annoying.
Miles said you got the Omicron.
Yeah.
Omicron.
Probably. Chat is pretty quiet besides.
Yes, it is.
Miles, is there anybody
blowing
here?
It up in there. Who else we got in here? It says we got people watching. They're keeping to themselves tonight, apparently. Tell us what you're drinking.
I was going to ask you before the show, Sam. Should we give something away? Do you got anything to give away?
I got patches and stickers.
It's like, what do I got on my desk?
I got patches and stickers. Shooting pews and slamming brews. We got that. We can do a aluminum patch tonight. Tell you what. You guys want an aluminum patch and some stickers? We'll throw in some Shyworks stickers and some Gears and Beers stickers. And then, so all you got to do to get entered is share it and comment in the comments that you shared. And say we get, I don't know, we got to get a few shares out of the deal. We'll say 6 shares, and we'll give away this patch at the end of it. How's that sound? Sound like a fair deal?
That's the most random number you could have possibly picked.
Yep. Well, it's pretty fucking slow in here tonight. I was trying to, trying to set the bar low so I can give shit away. Well, 6.25 shares, and we'll give away a
6 1/4.
That's attainable. It's got to be exactly 6.25 though. Can't go over.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I suppose we should probably start the show. Sam, what's this I hear about insurance from Palmetto State?
Well, actually, it is not from Palmetto State. I looked into it a little bit more, and essentially what it was, they sent out an email, and they were giving away basically if you signed up for coverage for carry insurance through Right to Bear Insurance, you got a free AR-15 lower. So I was mistaken when I put that in the show notes. It's not from Palmetto State, but it is they kind of partnered up with Right to Bear Insurance. And they're giving away a lower or $40 off at Palmetto State Armory on the website. So that's kind of a good deal. You can sign up and get insurance. And this is something that we've been preaching about for a long time, but I have yet to participate in myself because I'm a fucking hypocrite. But I think the way everything's going in the world, obviously, the Rittenhouse case just got over, and that went the way that we all hoped it would. But the fact of the matter is that he had to spend tens of thousands, I'm sure hundreds of thousands, just to defend himself on a justified shooting. And that's not going to be any different for for yourself. There's a very good chance that you will be arrested, and even if you're completely justified. And you do have to defend yourself. And the fact of the matter is that shit is freaking expensive. It is not cheap. So they do offer insurance specifically for that, which is what we're talking about, right to bear insurance. And there's different, but I do recommend looking at different providers. Because I did get to looking at this one, and for their bronze package, their lowercase one or their lowest one, it's $115 a year, comes out to, or you can do $10.95 a month. But I found out that it's like up to $50,000, but then they reimburse you for your bail. They reimburse you for compensation in court, several things. But I do know that there are other insurers that do not reimburse you. They pay you up front, because I feel like in a situation like this, if you don't have $5,000, $10,000 laying around, it's not going to do any good if you have insurance to reimburse you, because you can't fucking pay it. They're not going to reimburse you shit if you don't pay it.
Yeah, how are you supposed to come up with a retainer for an attorney or even bail money or any of that shit, you know?
Exactly. But so I went and I compared this to another plan, and this is a second call defense. That's what We Like Shooting. They've been touting this for years. And these guys, they do offer immediate cash bonds and immediate attorney retainers. That's upfront. So I guess the reason that I'm bringing this up is I'm not pushing you towards one or the other. I'm just telling you to do your due diligence and do a little bit of research and find out exactly what you have and what it offers. So in the unfortunate incident comes around when you actually have to use this, that you know exactly what you're getting, and you're not going to be blindsided, and your ass isn't going to be sitting in court or sitting in jail because you don't have the bond, the bail bond to get out. So that's my spiel on that. And I think this year is I'm probably going to take the plunge into getting my own. So I'm covered on that. Basic is $10 a month. I mean,
take the plunge. Well, you're going to take the plunge for that $120 a year.
Well, that's the basic level. I would probably go up to there's another $15 package, or on the right to bear, the next one's $20, all the way up to $50. Second call defense goes up to $35 a month. So either way, like I said, I'm not pushing you towards one way or the other. I'm just telling you that it's a very good idea to have something like this if you are a person that does carry on the daily. So yeah, that's my spiel on that, and it's really all I got to say about it.
Well, that's not near as exciting as I thought it was going to be.
No, well, once I started looking into it, I was like, well, wait a second. This is not actually from Palmetto. They're just pushing people to get it, which is in and of itself a very good thing. I think people need to be made more aware of this. And it's good that a company such as Palmetto is, pushing this out, because they got a huge following. And
I'd be willing to bet a large portion of their fan base doesn't even know carry insurance is a thing.
Absolutely. Right. I think a lot of Palmetto's fan base is very uninformed, newer type guys, just looking to get into this shit. So either way, it's a good thing that they're pushing stuff like this. So yeah, absolutely.
It's funny you talk about Palmetto State and like being newer guys and stuff, because it's true, because a lot of I think, I don't know if it's true for all of us, but I know, like, when I first was getting into guns and stuff, it was all about the budget build, right? It's like, how can I build a nice AR as cheaply as possible? And Palmetto State seemed like a really good,
oh yeah, that's
budget minded, good value, basically.
Yep.
And as you get more and more into guns and or build more and more ARs or change them, you just get farther and farther from that and just say, okay, I need, now I was good with an O light. I got an O light at first. Well, then I got a stream light. Now I want a Surefire. I started out with a Palmetto State, just barreled upper. Yep. Okay, well, now I want a Criterion barrel and I want a, KAC carbon handguard or something, It's like, it's kind of a good starting point. And I noticed I was looking on YouTube the other night, and if you look up like any, 14.5-inch AR build, 10.5-inch AR build, every 2 out of 3 videos has PSA in the title somewhere. Like right. Everybody on YouTube is building Palmetto State stuff. It's kind of funny, but
they're like they're the gateway drug, man.
Well, that's kind of their whole thing. Which it's kind of why I bring this up, is because their whole thing is to get as many guns into the hands of U.S. civilians as possible. Yep. Right. So to make the AR-15 the most common gun in the U.S., and that's kind of the same deal with like their dagger, just to make another cheap Glock clone, to get as many of them out there as they can, to have that many more armed Americans basically. And, promoting this carry insurance is just another good way of making sure that, people are fully prepared, not only with firearms, but with legal protection as well.
Yeah. Yeah, they're damn good at what they do. I got to give them that. I wonder where they rank as far as number of guns that they move every year as compared to some of the other big guys in the U.S. I should find out.
Yeah, I would like to see how many, like how many lowers even they.
I bet they're more than what you would think. A lot of, because like you said, dude, you freaking go into the Facebook gun groups and the YouTubes and all this shit. More times than not, you're seeing Palmetto State shit,
Yeah.
Andrew says Palmetto fan base is pores. Well, fuck, I don't care. As long as there's people getting into it, I don't give a shit what they're buying.
I'm a poor.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm poor as shit. I still tend to, like I said, I started on Palmetto stuff just because it was what I could afford. And I mean, obviously I'm definitely far beyond that at this point, but that's where I started.
Ruby says VOA FY. What the hell's what's she talking about? VOA FYI.
No idea.
I'm assuming some kind of insurance.
Oh. Ruby, if you're still listening, you're on the YouTubes over there. If you're still listening, clarify what exactly you're talking about. Is there any cases where an individual needed to use this insurance? Were they actually helpful? Absolutely. I can't point you to those cases right now, but I certainly can, Nick. If you want to follow up, shoot me a message and I'll find some of those cases, because I know that it has been used numerous times. So absolutely. And it's not, it's in your home, it's in your, it's out and about. So that it's being used. And it's, as long as it's a legal gun, they're going to cover you for it. So I'm sure there are many cases of it being used.
Okay. Moving on. ATF. They're back in the news. This time, not for something totally horrible, which is surprising when it comes to us and the ATF, obviously. They're actually trying to speed things up.
I don't know.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I feel like this whole thing is to just get more people on their basically registry by getting them to sign up for NFA items. It's going to be faster and easier. Everybody sign up.
Nobody knows what you're talking about, Johnson. Let's explain first.
Yes. Anyways, say you wanted an NFA item such as like a machine gun or an SBR or a short barrel shotgun or suppressor or an AOW. Right now, you have to fill out a Form-4, send in your fingerprints and shit like that. The current wait time for something like that is 7 to 9 months, and it can be up to like 14 months. But they're trying to make this electronic, where you can submit this Form-4 and your fingerprints actually electronically. So it's going to cut down on that wait time, hopefully substantially. They say by the end of 2022, they want to have transfer times down to 90 days, and by the end of 2023, down to 30 days. That's a lot of cut down right there.
That's serious, yeah.
And this is going to be, they did try this a few years back. I want to say in like 17 or something like that. But there was obviously some issues that they needed to
technical problems
figure out with this, but they think they've got it figured out this time. And this is going to be rolling out around, not a set date, but around December 18th. So just in a couple of weeks. But like Johnson said, yeah, it could be used for some nefarious reasons, obviously.
What? And I never thought about this, Johnson, but what if they're moving to make pistol braces, SBRs, and this is going to be one of their excuses? Well, look, you can it's so easy now.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how easy it is. The fact that you're going to say you have to pay $200 or you're a felon makes it not fucking okay.
I'm not arguing that point.
Change the law. Yeah. No, I agree. I just think look in the last year, how many places have got fucking hacked into for ransomware in the last year? And we think that fucking sending our fingerprints, our passport profiles, and all of our fucking personal information to the government, who has fucked us over repeatedly over the internet, is a good idea. I mean, I don't know. To me, yes, I understand that decreasing the wait times is a good thing. Like, nobody wants to wait a year for their suppressor paperwork to go through or SBR paperwork to go through, but this just seems like could be opening up a larger can of worms.
I agree. For one, will say, yeah, fuck the ATF. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Do what you want. I don't fucking care.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I mean, I don't have to deal with any of this shit anyways. But
I'm Sam. I'm an FFL. I have an SOT.
They already have all my information and even know what my dog looks like. I probably have drone photos.
I already pay them a bunch of money every year.
Yeah, you're goddamn right. But it does seem like very strange timing, does it not? I mean, I guarantee ever since I'm still waiting for them to come out with the whole freaking pistol brace thing, because it's coming. For 100% fucking fact that it's coming. This just seems like this seems strange to me that this is their timing. I would bet you that it has something to do with that.
Ooh, Nick says they're not going online only though, right? So you could still do it the longer paper route. That I do not know. I bet eventually they do away with the paper. I bet after 23, I bet they do away with that.
I don't know. I don't know that they can fully go electronic. I feel like
ATF, they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Well, clearly. I don't know if they can do whatever they want, but they do whatever they want.
Yep. Congress refuses to rail them in, or round them in a little bit. So yeah. I don't know.
Bunch of assholes.
I've only seen excitement from everybody else in the industry, but I didn't even think about it until Johnson mentioned that though. So interesting.
Me being the skeptic that I am, yeah, that was my initial thought.
No, you're a skeptic, Box? No.
I'm of the ATF, yeah, them fucking assholes. I don't know what it is. Anytime the ATF, and it's like, I did see, like Silencer Shop and all these guys, because like Silencer Shop makes it super easy, right? So they have like kiosks if you go to any of their like retail stores, where you can literally stand there, do your passport photos, get your fingerprints done, fill out all your shit, and it's just like poof, easy, done. But the wait time's still high. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe they need to work on just figuring out an electronic way to process that information. Like using Adobe that can, read handwriting and do it electronically versus having people sift through this shit.
Do you think the ATF is like, oh, hey guys, it's Wednesday night, it's the Gears and Beers night, and they sit around and
I fucking hope so.
They take shots every time we complain or say fuck the ATF.
I hope so.
Just fucking laugh at us the entire time and put us all on hit lists to fucking come murder our dogs.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have a dog.
I got to get her a bulletproof vest.
Jesus.
Miles says, I heard they were making a registry from out of business FFLs. The business has to surrender all the records to the AFT when they close.
What that is everyone, say if I close my ATF, I have to send all of my records to the ATF. That's the way that it's been for years and years and years. And I don't know exactly what they're doing with those, if they're digitizing them. It used to be that they were sent to a warehouse in Virginia and they just fucking sat there. So I don't know if they're digitizing them now or what they're doing, but that's not unusual, John or Miles, that you have to give up your records. That's actually on my previous, I went from an 01 to an 07 FFL, and I had to surrender my records from my 01 FFL. I had to send all that shit in. That way, if I had any transfers, that they would go and look into my transfers, say a gun came from a manufacturer to me, they come in and look at the records and see who I signed it out to. So that's essentially what that's for. But as far as what else you're talking about, I'm not exactly positive there. He says there are a lot closed due to the vid. Oh yeah, there were a lot more closing recently. Yes. And that's probably why people are freaking out. But that's not it's not necessarily unusual that they're sending in their records.
Were you saying something, Johnson?
They most definitely are. I mean, they do keep records. They're not necessarily building a registry based on every FFL transfer from every closed FFL ever. I don't know. They're keeping those records. They're not necessarily making a registry. Do I think it's horse shit and they can go fucking pound sand? Yeah, but I'd have a hard time believing that they're like, well, we're just adding more to our list of all the gun owners in the United States so we can go and knock on everybody's door. No, I don't think that's what they're using those records for.
No, they're using most of those records for tracing shit. But at least all of my wealth of knowledge, that's what I know about it.
So not much.
Exactly.
I also think that there is probably 24 to 40 people in the ATF that are like real dickheads and hate guns, and I think there's probably like 150 that are just fucking dumbass peons that sit there and do fucking paperwork all day.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
What a satisfying job that would be.
Wouldn't it though? Actually, I'm just going to sit in my cubicle and go through fucking somebody's suppressor paperwork all fucking day.
Yeah, sounds like
no wonder it's so fucking slow. They're like half asleep all the goddamn time.
Well, they always have those people offing themselves, so they have to find replacements all the time.
Right.
No wonder the ATF is so fucking pissed all the time. He's going through paperwork, doing all this boring shit. They're like, well, let's look up who can we fuck up today. We're bored. Let's go to Andrew Johnson's house. Let's go fuck him up. His dog's named Dave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I suppose we should be moving on. How about you tell us about this Sig MCX Raptor, Johnson?
The MCX Raptor. So as you guys, I'm sure know, Sig has been part of the next generation squad weapon trials, and they've been developing basically a new infantry rifle and a new LMG for these trials in this program. And the infantry rifle that they developed, they had called the Spear, the Sig MCX Spear. All of these rifles are going to be chambered in 6.8 by 51. So the long and short of it is it's a 308 neck down to 6.8 millimeter. Very similar muzzle velocities and stuff like 308 is, but I think they're saying effective range to like 12 or 1300 yards instead of 800 yards for the 308. So they're seeing a lot better performance out of the 6.8 by 51 cartridge. And then, so they had developed this Spear, and now, which was like a 13-inch barrel, and then kind of to compete with the SCAR CQB, they were looking at developing an 8-inch barrel version. And this new Raptor is going to be the civilian version, since all of these like super short 12.5-inch AR-10 pistols and all this should have been really popular lately. This 8-inch MCX in basically the AR-10 platform is kind of what they're rolling out to the civilian market. And they're talking about, I don't know, the thing from TFB, the Firearm Blog, they had recorded a while back, and he said 12 to 18 months, maybe around Christmas time, 2021. I think it's going to be either first quarter to the middle of next year before we really start seeing them. But it's an 8-inch barrel chambered in, you can either do 308, 6.5 Creedmoor, or the new 6.8 by 51. They have the quick change barrel system that the MCX Spear, that the NGSW rifles will have. He said roughly 3 to 5 minutes, you should be able to change barrel. You could change barrel length, you could change chamberings, all that stuff. Since they all use a common magazine, it's going to be just a barrel change, and they all have the same parent case, so the bolt all stays the same and everything. And basically you could swap stuff out real easy. Like 7-pound rifle for the 8-inch configuration. Another cool thing that they had on these rifles was all AR kind of manual of operations, but they also included a side charging handle, a non-reciprocating side charging handle. So it has ambi controls. Everything is AR style controls. Everything's ambi, bolt catch, bolt, mag release, safeties, all that stuff is all ambi. And then they include a standard rear charging handle, just like on an AR, plus the non-reciprocating side charging handle. So it's truly as ambidextrous as you could make a rifle, basically. The only thing they don't do is change the ejection side, right? So a lefty would eject out away from their face, but seemed like a really cool gun. So that's all short stroke gas piston, like all their MCX stuff is. And he described, the guy that from the video that I watched from TFB, the guy from SIG described their gas system. They had like a patented, some kind of like gas delay or gas capture delay or something for like these really short barrel, short dwell time guns. They basically had a really good way of maintaining gas pressure, even though there wasn't much dwell time, to actually make them operate, which I guess I wasn't super aware of on the MCX stuff, but
Wonder how that works. I was curious about that.
I'm not really sure, but I'm watching these things. It looks like a super controllable, and it didn't look like it was shooting all kinds of fireballs and all kinds of out of control, tons of unburnt powder and huge fireballs out of that thing. So, which is surprising for an 8-inch barreled 308.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it is actually.
What do you think about that? The short, like a small 308, small battle rifle, short barrel battle rifle. Been kind of curious about them for a while.
I've wanted to build a 12.5-inch AR-10 for a while. I think it'd be just badass. But as far as practicality, I don't know. You'd probably get better ballistics than it's still a 16-inch 5.56 gun.
Is this new 6.8 round? Is that do good in shorter barrels? I mean, I know the 300 Blackout, that's what really excels. Is that something that the 6.8 was designed for?
No, it was designed around a 13-inch, 16-inch barrel. They're talking 3,000 feet per second out of a 16-inch barrel and 2820 out of a 13-inch barrel.
Okay.
So I have an 8-inch barrel, you're probably 2,300 to 2,400 feet per second.
Okay. And what did you say the 6.8, it was based off what?
It's just a neck down 308, basically.
Okay.
The NATO 7.62 by 51 is just NATO 308.
Okay.
It's just that neck down.
Okay. So there's other 6.8 calibers 6.8 Grendel and 6.8 SP.
6.5 Grendel, but 6.8 SPC is the other common one.
But that's in an AR-15 platform, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as shorter, to me, a 308 6.5, those are for longer range engagements and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when you put them in a short barreled gun, it's kind of almost like a double. I don't know. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But that's probably because I haven't looked into it ballistics.
Right, but if you think about it, you're looking at similar velocities to 5.56, right? Because 5.56 out of a 16-inch barrel, 3,000 feet per second.
Yeah.
A 13-inch barrel, you're probably looking at that same 2,800 feet per second, right? So we're kind of in similar velocities. It's going to be comparable, but now you've got a heavier projectile, so you're putting more energy downrange.
So you're saying you're getting better ballistics out of a similar sized package.
Mm-hmm. So you could run a 10.5-inch AR. So say you're running a Mark 18, or you're running this thing, which is even shorter than a Mark 18, and you're putting more energy downrange. You're putting more firepower on the target. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. I guess I would have to get my hands on one just to.
And the biggest reason this whole NGSW deal is going to this 6.8 cartridge, the 6.8 by 51, is because they've had so many issues with enemies staying out of range of ARs. They understand what the 5.56 cartridge is capable of. In Afghanistan, they had huge problems with the enemies would just hang out at 650 to 850 yards and just hang out there. Fuck it. They ain't going to shoot at us. Even if they do, Habib will fucking go down. We'll patch him up and he'll be back slinging AK fire over the, it's not a very lethal cartridge at range. And the standard 308, basically, they were getting out to 850 meters with everything. And, they just wanted, so they're not only offering the 8-inch, that's just what this Sig Raptor is, because short barrel guns are popular to civilians. Right. That's why this thing is such a big deal. The Spear is still a full 13-inch gun, and they're also going to make 20-inch. So they've got the Sig MCX Spear for this whole NGSW deal, they had like 3 options. So or 3 variants. They had the 6.5 Creedmoor in a 20-inch barrel. They had the 6.8 in a 13-inch barrel and the 6.8 in an 8-inch barrel. Those were kind of the 3 variants. So they had like a marksman rifle, the standard infantry rifle, and then a CQB version. So they're still looking at, longer range stuff. So out of that 13-inch barrel, they were saying they were looking at a 1,300 meter, range on it. So
yeah. I mean, I could be down with it, I guess. It looks
it looks cool as hell. I can tell you that. I don't care who you are. I think the MCX series of rifles look badass.
Yes, I tend to agree.
The monolithic upper with the little like outer handguard on the bottom, just the way it all fits up. Back end of the receivers, the way the back end of the receivers comes together, they are just a sexy looking gun.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing about them is they don't have the buffer tube, too. You got that. You got a collapsible
folding stock. Yeah.
Yep. Which you'd be interested to know. I'm getting one of those Brownells BRN 180s.
Are you?
The 10.5 inch, and it's going on a Kilroy lower, and I'm going to turn that into my full auto gun. So I'm pretty fucking excited about that one.
Sweet.
Yeah. The goodness of a collapsible stock.
So you're getting I'm confused. Does James have like pick rail rear lowers?
No, actually they got them that you thread into the buffer tube, and that puts a pick rail right on the back. So it looks almost exactly like the Brownells lowers. They sell the ones with the pick rails on the back.
Yeah.
So it's essentially the same thing as that. But I picked up one of Kilroy arms for Black Friday, so I figure I might as well use that one.
Yeah, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, buddy. Box, what's your thoughts about the shorter 308, larger caliber guns?
I don't really know. That's why I asked. I don't know. I think I don't know. It's cool. They put, I don't know. It'd be nice to have something small that really thumps like that. But.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just, you're putting more energy downrange regardless of how long the barrel is. It's still similar velocity to the 5.56, but a heavier projectile. So it's kind of a win-win, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And aren't they going synthetic case as well? So it's going to be lighter ammo.
I
know that's in the works, but I don't know nothing about when or
I thought that was the plan. I thought True Velocity had that contract with the military or whatever.
I know True Velocity lost the bid for the weapons systems, but they might have the contract for the ammo.
They're like the only company I've heard of doing the composite ammo.
Right.
Yeah. And the one thing that I was wondering about was weight. Like obviously when you go from 5.56 to 308 caliber, you increase the weight a lot, but I wonder how much gain you're getting from going from a brass case to a polymer case. I wonder if that's going to kind of offset it and get you back.
Do you mean like a brass 5.56 to a polymer 308?
Yeah.
Offsets. I bet it's pretty close.
Right. I bet it's pretty similar.
I would guess.
Depending on how many you're carrying, I guess.
Well, yeah.
They say like 7 mags they try to carry or whatever.
Yeah, I think each infantry person's supposed to have like 200 rounds.
Yeah, that's what I carry on a daily basis.
Yeah, got a few on my ankle. Each ankle.
One up the prison pocket. The 30 rounder, of course.
I actually just reloaded all my, those little mag carrier cases that I had that hold like 15 mags in them.
Oh yeah.
I reorganized all my shit so I can keep all my range mags in one of them. and I made sure they were all reloaded and shit. I completely emptied my entire ammo can of 5.56, reloading all my mags. I was like, oh my God. So I had to refill my ammo can out of the stock. I was like, damn it.
Yep. In the comments, Nick says, what's the company that has the MP7 style 300 blackout gun that might come out? Cry Precision has the patent on it, but that's there's no prototype yet. Who knows if it'll ever come out? Seems like a pipe dream to me, but Cry Precision is who you're looking for. If you want to find out more information on that, you actually can go over to the website, lifeshortlivefree.com/community. And there's a topic on there in there somewhere about that specific gun in the guns and gear section. And that'll give you the link to it.
Either that, or it's in the show page.
Show notes. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to the show notes for the Gears and Beers, whatever one we talk about that, I put a link to that there too. So,
along these lines, Box, I know you kind of were interested in how this would work out of a short barrel. Have you followed Q's 8.6 blackout?
Negative. I don't follow Q at all.
No. He's developing an 8.6 blackout, which is basically like a, God dang, is it a 308 necked up to 8.6 millimeter or something? I don't know, but he's looking at building like 8-inch barrel. He's got like those fixed rifles where it's like a bolt action, real lightweight bolt action. So he's looking at doing like subsonic big bore cartridges like that. So like an 8.6 is like a 338 projectile.
Yep, that's what it is. 338 projectile.
So yeah, so it's it'd be like a 308 necked up to a 338 projectile, and then subsonic. That's pretty cool. He's doing some pretty cool stuff with it. It seems like it's going to be a really good subsonic hunting round anyway. And that's that's designed around a very short barrel as well.
Huh. Looks like a hell of a cartridge.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That looks like a fucking wicked.
Tons of power.
Yeah.
I'm pretty stupid when it comes to calibers and ballistics and shit like that. It's not really something I pay attention to or study or anything like that. That's more
the bullet, the actual projectile that sticks out of the case is almost as long as what's left of the case itself. It's like a 50-50 ratio, bullet to brass. It's kind of funny looking.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of bullet jammed into that little freaking.
So it's got a few different like names. It's 8.6 Creedmoor. Some people call it the 8.6 Creedmoor. Some people call it like the 8.6 Black or Blackout. So it's kind of like a large frame 300 Blackout is basically what it is. It's like a 300 Blackout for the Air 10 platform.
Creedmoor and Blackout are just becoming buzzwords now, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're going to call it the 8.6 Tactical Creedmoor Blackout?
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
Okay, well, we should move on. What's this about this bump stock ruling, Sam?
Oh, Lord.
Are we going to get angry?
No. So December 3rd, the an en banc panel of the 6th Circuit Court of Appeals. And that was, so there were 16 judges hearing this case, and it was about the bump stock. I believe this was a Gun Owners of America case. And they ended up coming up with a divided opinion, which was 8-8, which means essentially tie goes to the runner. And since the government had won the previous case, that case or that ruling was confirmed. So now they're going, essentially they're left with Gun Owners of America is left with appealing the decision up to the Supreme Court and hoping the Supreme Court will take it up, which in the last 10 years, Supreme Court hasn't taken up much shit at all. But the good thing is there is actually another case that is up for Supreme Court hearing of a very similar case. It's a bump stock case as well. So there's a chance, I wouldn't say it's a great chance, that these one of these cases is going to get taken up by the Supreme Court, and especially with an 8-8 ruling, it's so divided that may be more excuse for the Supreme Court to take it up. So like I said, it was 8-8, and let me 1 second here. Let me find the term that I was looking for. They're saying the judges that ruled against the Gun Owners of America, they added that the definitional terms automatically and single function of the trigger are ambiguous. Frankly, how the fuck you could think that those terms are ambiguous, automatic and single function of the trigger? If you understand what a fucking machine gun is, there's no ambiguity there at all. That's fucking very clear and very single function of the trigger, pull, release. That's not fucking complicated. So the fact that they're saying, oh, well, we don't really understand what that means, it's ambiguous, it can have a lot of meanings. No, go fuck yourself. You're just a freaking, I don't understand how that's not something that's ambiguous. It's very fucking clear.
The same thing as saying a single left turn.
Yeah.
Well, that's ambiguous. Right. How much of a left turn are we talking about here? Do I just need to go 1 degree to the left, or do I need to make a full 90? How far? It's ambiguous.
Right. And the one heartening thing about this is they could not come to a definitive ruling one way or the other. There were still 8 judges on that, and this is the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. They're not exactly fucking gun friendly.
No.
So the fact that it was 8-8, it was split. If the Supreme Court would take this up, it seems like they do. I mean, that is a more conservative Supreme Court. It's like 6-3, divided there, conservative towards liberals. So there's a very good chance. But herein lies the problem. It doesn't matter. The reason those 8 judges ruled it the way that they did is not because they truly think that single function of the trigger is ambiguous. They understand that the creators of the bump stock found a fucking loophole, and there's no way that you can truly, honestly classify this as a machine gun. And so they're fucking kicking the ball down, or kicking the can down the line, because they know goddamn well that's not an ambiguous term, and they know the fucking direct meaning of it. And if they ruled in favor of it, then they know, oh, we fucking win. And that's the problem when you have fucking judges that are more concerned about pushing a goddamn agenda than they are about upholding the Constitution. And that's,
or just not even pushing an agenda, just picking a side as well.
Right. Absolutely. Like they're
being biased.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you could view this as any other way of them being biased. Like an anti-gun judge is going to say, even if he clearly understands the meaning of that term and he knows that they're fucking right, he's just going to say, well, there's a little bit of wiggle room. No, there's fucking not, dipshit.
Well, that goes the opposite way too in other things, you're never going to find an unbiased judge. I don't care if it's the Supreme Court or the fucking Plymouth County Courthouse. Right. You're not going to find an unbiased judge. That just people have personal politics in their head. And especially when you're a judge, you have personal politics in your head.
Yeah.
No matter how much you try not to, you will apply some of those personal politics regardless.
Yeah. So obviously I know that I don't do an extremely great job of getting across what exactly are going on in these court cases. I would recommend.
You just yell a lot mostly.
I do. Well, I talk about them for a while and then I get pissed off. So then I start yelling. But if you want a very good person's coverage of this, go and look up Armed Scholar on YouTube. I get a lot of my news from him. He very clearly states what exactly is going on. You know, he breaks it down from the legal mumbo jumbo and tells you exactly what's happening. So that's Armed Scholar on Facebook if you want to.
He can be kind of difficult to listen to sometimes, though.
Yeah, he's not exactly like.
He's got kind of a monotone voice, but I do believe he is in the network of attorneys with the Firearms Policy Coalition.
Yes, he is.
So he's very up and up on what is happening in the firearms community as far as legal cases go. Yep. And he kind of knows the inside scoop on a lot of that stuff. So he is a good place to good person to visit for good information.
Yeah. So if you would rather not hear me call these judges fucking retards, feel free to go and check him out. He's a little bit more professional in his approach to it.
That would be great if they all went over there and he just posted a video. These judges are just fucking retards.
Oh, that would be great.
Good stuff. So yeah, there is, like I said, hopefully the Supreme Court will take it up. And he was talking about, there was a case, maybe it was actually this same guy was talking about the California magazine ban that just got upheld. Mm-hmm. But there was I think it was that case. They're waiting for the Supreme Court decision on the New York Supreme the New York Pistol Association case in the Supreme Court.
Yeah, New York Pistol and Rifle Association.
Right. So they're waiting to see what that ruling, because they're supposed to rule on that next year. They already heard those cases recently, or that case recently. So they're waiting up on that one to make a ruling on this one, I believe. But anyways, go over and look at Armed Scholar. He'll tell you all about that stuff. We'll keep you up on the up and up. Keep you on the up and up on all that stuff. So, Yep. And he don't stammer and stutter like a tard like I do.
I am very impressed though. You got through that entire thing without fucking up ambiguous one time.
Right? I just got the.
I mean, that's a pretty big. That's a pretty big word for Sam.
Is that what you spent all day doing?
I got a beer and a half in me, and I'm right in the zone where it helps me talk. And then once I get 2 or 3 in me, then I'm back to the normal fucking
nonsense.
Your beer to word ratio is just right, huh?
Yep.
You stare. That's what you spent all day doing, isn't it? You just went in there in your bathroom and stared at the mirror and said ambiguous a bunch of times.
Ambiguous. You can do this. Ambiguous.
I warmed up before there. Sally went down by the seashore.
The arsonist had oddly shaped feet.
Now, brown cow.
Unique New York.
Good stuff.
Okay, well, now that we're done talking about Sam stammering, I suppose we can move on.
We can.
It's the question of the week, boys.
Oh, God.
Don't worry, I think I can get through this one. This one comes from a Steve Machowski from Vermont. Steve says, "Hey guys, long-time listener, first-time caller. A few weeks back, I was drunk browsing through Gunbroker and came across this pallet of Taurus curves. It was a super good deal, and I've always wanted to open a gun shop, but times have been tough during the pandemic, and I didn't have the cash on hand. So I used all of my son's college fund to pay for it. I was going to surprise my wife when I opened the shop, but she found the pallet of guns a couple days ago. I thought she would kill me, but she doesn't even act angry. Is she cheating on me? Should I give her a bouquet of Taurus curves to say sorry?"
Johnson, you want to take this one?
Well, first of all,
well, you guys are speechless.
Please send me some maple syrup from Vermont. Second of all, I don't, her not acting mad is probably a good sign that she you may want to check the bank statement for this, but she's probably got a retainer paid to an attorney for divorce court. So, you know.
We hate to be the ones to break it to you, Steve, but your marriage is over.
Yeah. Just to let you know, the marriage is over. And your son's probably going to hate you for the rest of his life. But you know what? You're going to need a good support group. And what you can do to find that support group, head on over to Life Short Live Free. Go to the community tab. Get in there. You know, don't try and pedal the Taurus curves in there. You're not going to be well received doing that. But, I mean, there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to be able to, you know, help you through this hard time.
But just keep the Taurus thing on the down low.
That's what I'm saying. Don't be trying to pedal the Taurus curves and like.
I hope you're okay with a little bit of hazing. You'll catch some for that.
Yeah.
Even
if you just say Taurus somewhere on the forum, you'll probably catch some hazing. Just definitely leave the curve part out.
Well, I mean,
if it's like a raging judge or like a raging bull magnum or something, you know, like, okay, but leave the curve part out.
Well, there is the gear swap over there. So you can go, if you really want, you can go and you know, post them for sale over there, or you could just like give them away, or maybe you could post them for sale. Well, you could post them that you will pay people to take them off your hands. There you go.
I do believe,
if you have any money left after the divorce.
I do believe there is a brand spanking new 43 listed in the gear swap right now.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of other things too.
Never even fired a Glock 43.
Weird. I wonder where that came from.
Yeah, I don't know. Some guy named Monty. I don't know who it is. After I read this question, I had to Google this Taurus curve because I wasn't sure if it. I thought for sure it had been discontinued. I did find one for sale though, from a gun shop in like Missouri somewhere. I think. You know how much they wanted for it? Like $330, I think.
Oof.
That's probably about what they went for. New, wasn't it?
You got me. Wasn't real big on the Taurus curve when they.
Those things didn't even have sights on them. They just had like.
I think they had the groove. Yeah.
They anybody into the slide there.
Everybody notice the new thread in the forum just popped up right now?
No.
In search of Taurus curve.
Have we got a deal for you?
Screw you, Miles.
See, well, what was his name? Steve
Machowski in Vermont.
Steve Machowski. Now head on over to lifeshortlivefree.com and somebody is looking for one of those Taurus curves. There's your first sale. You are welcome, sir.
You're well on your way to starting your gun shop.
Oh, man. Oh, while we're totally off the rails at the current moment, you guys need to look up, and all the listeners, when this video is over, I saw a video today of a dude who built a full auto Desert Eagle in 50 AE.
No, thank you.
So, Sam, get on that, would you?
Oh, yeah. First off, I'm going to buy a $2,000 gun. You know, actually when you shoot those, they're not as bad as you are expecting them to be.
Until you do it full auto.
I can't imagine that would be
this thing looked so rowdy. He's got like a foregrip on it, like an aluminum vertical grip on it.
Yeah.
And I mean to tell you, he was relying heavily on that foregrip. There was a comment like, boy, you put a lot of faith in that foregrip. He's like, there's a reason it's a aluminum one, not some polymer one.
Oh,
wow.
Man. Yeah.
Boy, aggressive though. Aggressive.
Yeah.
Like even a 50, like a, what is that?
The 50 Beowulf?
Yeah, 50 Beowulf. Those are fucking aggressive too.
Oh,
in
yeah.
an AR.
Well, I got a 458 SOCOM right here. Remember we shot that, like it was about 3 or 4 times. You're like, nope, no, I'm good.
Yeah, okay, I'm good. Thanks. Yeah.
That was enough of that. The thing
Yeah.
is horrible.
Okay, well, I suppose we can move on to our next subject now that we've broke the news to poor Steven.
Sorry, guy.
Okay, this next one is this thing from this company called JTAC Industries. Industries, I think, is their name. JTAC is all I have written down. But it's called the JTAC L1 Strybog Bullpup Pistol Lower Receiver. What this is, obviously, it's a lower receiver for your Grand Power Stribog, your SP9A3s.
Yeah.
But it turns it into a bullpup. And if you somehow don't know what a bullpup is, it brings the mag behind your pistol grip. So the grip is moved all the way to the forefront of your Strybog. It
also brings the vomit right into your mouth.
Absolutely.
Do you happen to have a picture of this you're going to put out, Box?
I do. I'll do that right now. Oop, not that one.
Ugh.
That right there. It looks tough to operate for me. But this accepts CZ Scorpion mags. The lower is not serialized, and you do not need to make any modifications. It's just 2 bolts and 2 pins is what attaches it to it. They say, well, it is also compatible with AR selector switches, AMB, and just single-sided. But I noticed in the description of this thing, they said better ergonomics. How? I don't see a single ergonomic thing about that. What is not ergonomic about how the Grand Power was previously set up? What is ergonomic about this?
Well, that's just marketing mumbo jumbo.
It's bullshit is what it is.
Yep.
But it doesn't, I don't understand why you guys are hating on this so much. It doesn't look.
Because it's fucking dumb.
Well, why?
I don't care how it looks. You have to operate the thing with a fucking suppressor or you're going to shoot your fingers off. No doubt about it.
Well, there is that.
And you're going to burn the fuck out of your hand trying to hold on to that suppressor, mind you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess there is that.
And you literally have to reload in your armpit. Try and look at that mag release. The flap is on the back of the mag. You would literally have to it'd be like pulling your armpit hair out and getting that fucking magazine out of there. If you want to use CZ Scorpion mags, there's plenty of companies that make lowers for those things that accept CZ Scorpion mags. Don't do this. Don't do this to your Strybog. Don't do it.
The whole point of Bullpup design was to keep a longer barrel but have a shorter overall length.
Overall package. I want the velocity of a 20-inch barrel, but I don't need it so unwieldy and long. Look at the AUG.
Okay, well, here's the question here. Here's the question. Now, they call this is a pistol upper. Now, when you put this on that, does it convert it into a SBR?
No, because there's still no buttstock.
But you will be using that as the buttstock.
Why?
Are you saying using the back or the rear of the receiver as the stock?
Yes, absolutely.
Because then the sights back there, you'd be aiming like this, dude.
Well, no, you're going to be running a red dot, and your red dot is going to be mounted just over.
That doesn't matter. That's not the definition of pistol.
Do you have your Strybog handy? That's not
how that works.
Do you have your Strybog handy?
It's in the house.
Oh.
But that's why I'm intrigued with this. That's why, is it skirting the law somehow? Because if technically there is no buttstock on this thing, right? So how could it be an SBR? Like if you could still use it in such a way, I mean, think about like a PS90 or some type of, small little freaking CQB type of shit. I think that's what they're going for here. And if, like I said, if you mounted that red dot up front, right behind the front sight post, like obviously you're not going to be using the sights that are on the factory sights, obviously. But if you could operate it in such a way, that you're using that as a brace, is it going to skirt the SBR laws? And maybe that's what they're going for.
It's just a pistol.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's what I'm saying. If you could use it as a SBR,
we can have they changed those laws again? Can you? A while back they said they have no problem with you shouldering your braces.
Brace.
Yes, they have. Well, they said using it what was the word? Intermittently or some shit like that. Using it occasionally was okay.
Unintentionally, I think was the...
Okay, unintentionally or something along those lines.
If you were using it on your cheek and it happened to, through firing, slip down onto your shoulder, it was okay. But
okay, so
because I generally have ATF agents watching me shoot, I usually call one up when I go to the range. Hey, can you make sure I don't become a felon while doing any of this?
But if there's no buttstock, there cannot be an SBR. There cannot be any NFA violations if there's no fucking buttstock. Am I wrong?
No, nobody said it was an SBR. You asked if it was an SBR, and now you're yelling that it's not an SBR.
Right, but I'm saying that is the entire point of this. I take that.
I don't think so.
Point of this.
I don't think so. I think it was the Strybog's hot, and we like bullpups because we're deranged in some way, and they came up with this stupid idea.
I don't see any advantages
the least
to it.
Practical. Yeah, this is the least practical thing I have. This is worse than the fucking micro Roni Glock fucking chassis goddamn thing. Legitimately, this is far worse.
I like it.
I knew you would.
Of course you do. You're an idiot.
I mean, that's just rude.
Where's your left hand go, Sam?
You could hold it like a pistol, but that would be awkward as fuck.
I'm thinking,
but then you put the back of the receiver in your shoulder and you hold it like this and look down here like this.
I don't know. I'd have to play with it a little bit.
No,
but I mean, possibly, like directly behind your other hand, like in that area.
Well, it's got M-lock grips on the other side, so you just put a vertical foregrip on the M-lock on the side, so you hold it like this. That's what you do. You got the grip sideways. Got it.
Maybe. Is that box? If is that an aluminum lower?
I do not know.
I'm pretty sure it's polymer.
Well, yeah.
Pull up the picture.
I don't know. Well, I'm pretty sure every fucking listener could have very well guessed who is going to hate it on the show and who is going to like it.
Yep.
Because I like it.
Because he applauds innovation.
It's not necessarily that. I just think it's fucking cool.
It just
for looks, no other reason.
It just looks
and I think it's fucking
so
cool.
uncomfortable to hold.
It just doesn't. I can't figure out how a person would even use it.
Well, you hold it in the pistol grip and wherever else fits good on your hand, and then you pull the trigger and it goes boom, and you aim it on things that you want to kill. That's pretty much it. I don't know. I'd have to see some at the very least a video of somebody shooting it, just to see, how it all works and all that shit. But
I hope they don't even sell enough to.
Oh, they will. I bet they will.
Get a YouTube review out there.
There's a pretty good following for Strybog shit. So I'd be interested to see how many they do end up selling.
I didn't verify this. I did see in the comments though, on one of the articles I was reading about this, that they saw on the JTAC, I think their YouTube page or their website or something like this, that they saw them shooting this with the sling. Apparently that's how it's designed to be. There's a little hoop on the back. to attach your sling to, but they were holding it one hand on the pistol grip, obviously, and then their support hand they had on the top of the rail at the rear. But and it was pushed out, you know, putting tension on the sling.
So
that just
keep it from.
That just seems so fucking goofy to me.
Speaking of which, I just got a P50 in the shop today, and that's one way they got.
Speaking of stupid shit that doesn't seem like it should work right.
Well, no, they got this one doesn't have a brace on it or anything. It's just got the QD mount in the back, and they send a sling with it. So that's essentially what they're saying. You know, push it out and get your support. Your point of contact from the sling, essentially. Miles says that Bullpup is ergonomic for the lizard people. It's a litmus test to see if you're an eyeball licker.
Therefore, Sam, full on eyeball licker.
He's more the window licker type.
Yeah. The snozberries taste like snozberries. Nick Buss says he'd still take one. And we got that Dana Cox in the comments.
I think those are bots.
FYI, is it just a bot?
I am assuming so.
Gotta be.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I'd have to see a video of someone shooting this.
Wow, that's fucking morbid, guy.
I don't know how. I need to see somebody get shot with this to figure out how it works.
I finished my second beer, guys. I lost my suaveness.
I don't buy any firearm until I see it kill someone. Fucking dark, man.
Is that Miles? He says something about Brandon Herrera. Fuck your bullpups. Or he must be over on the website.
I think it says I'm from the school of Brandon Herrera. Fuck your bullpups.
Yes.
Is he not a fan of bullpups?
No. Hates them.
Well, he pretty much only just likes AKs, doesn't he?
He likes Russian things.
Yeah. He's really expanding his collection into just all kinds of historic firearms. But yeah, he's big into the Russian stuff. But
I actually
definitely hates bullpups.
I did a bullpup. It was essentially it was an AK receiver. It was an AK 12 gauge is what it was. But it was exactly like a fucking AK receiver, you know, barreled and all, you know, gas tube and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then they just snapped plastic around it, and there was a fucking the trigger had linkage between back here and the actual trigger, and they just used it. It turned it into a bullpup, essentially, just a fucking normal AK receiver, and they made it into a bullpup with the plastic they snapped around it. Goofiest thing I ever saw.
Did you throw it away?
No, I painted a Firebird theme on it and gave it to somebody for a lot of money.
Should have thrown it away.
He was paying me. I didn't really give a shit. But it was, you know what? It was innovative.
Yeah. Back to the JTAC, just a couple more things. They don't have pricing for this figured out quite yet. I think they do want to have that figured out yet this month by the end of the year. And they hope to have it available by the end of the first quarter of 2022, I think they said. But that's all I have to say about that. And it's stupid.
Yep.
Sam's going to buy one. I know it.
I don't know. If I got a bunch of extra money kicking around and I see one on sale, maybe. I don't know. Just to do a review on it.
They do. So didn't they come out with their own curved mags for these deals? Because the straight mags are giving problems.
Yeah, I didn't have any issues with them. A lot of people they were running okay with, but there was still some people having issues with the straight mag. So the fix for the longest time, the fix for that was you had to buy a different lower, and there was like a lingle lower they were offering that you could use Scorpion mags for it. There was also a few other lowers out there for it. But just within the last 6 months, something like that, the company Grand Power came out with curved mags now. So I got a couple of them. So
I've heard they're not great either.
I don't know. I haven't, to be real honest with you, I don't think I've even shot them. I haven't got it out to shoot yet, but
How many rounds have you put through your Strybog so far?
4.
Maybe 100. Not a whole lot. It's just a fun gun. But most of the reports
So you're telling me that you haven't had any problems with your straight mags after?
Well, I'm saying I haven't shot it very much. I can't really speak to it too much. But in most of the Strybog groups that I am in, it's probably, I see a lot more good news from from the curved mags than I do bad, but they're not perfect yet. They're definitely not perfect. They should have just went with a fucking, tried and true mag system already, like a fucking Scorpion mag or some shit like that. But the reason they didn't is because this was a Ukrainian company or some shit, Slovakian, shit from over there.
Grand Power is Slovakia.
So they developed it for the military over there initially, and that was kind of their own whole deal. And then they decided to bring it into the U.S., which is why they didn't do like a Scorpion mag or anything like that. But
so does that mean when you fire this, you technically should be doing the Slav squat every time you fire it?
I'm not really familiar with what exactly the Slav squat is, Johnson, to be real honest
Google
with you.
It sounds nasty.
It sounds like
Google it.
It sounds like some filthy ass shit you're doing in a freaking seedy ass rundown hotel.
No. Pretty typical AK. Pretty typical AK operator firing position.
Oh God, is that squatting way down low and shooting up over your head?
Yeah. That's the old Slav squat. They don't have to shoot over your head. That's typically done, but it's the nice low squat, butt on the heels, feet flat on the ground, butt on the heels. The old Slav squat.
Sounds effective.
Good Lord. Yep.
Okay. Moving on to the final segment of the show. It's Cool Gear with Sam.
Yeah, well, today I have it's nothing too super innovative.
No,
but it's something that I personally like. I just got this. So far, I'm really happy with this. This is just a multi-tool, but this is the SOG Power Pint. And generally, I don't consider multi-tools. I think most people don't really consider multi-tools a truly EDC item. Nobody wants to take a big ass Leatherman. I wouldn't say nobody, but most people generally are not going to shove a big ass Leatherman into their pocket every day, and I certainly don't. But the reason I consider this a more of an EDC item is just because it is freaking small. I'm trying to look. It doesn't really give you a size comparison. But here's one of those little cards. So this is, it's very small, but the nice thing about this is it still has a pretty significant pliers head to it. I got a Leatherman here for you to compare with. So that is the pliers on the Leatherman, and this is the pliers on my little Power Pint. So it's still, fairly good size. And the way that it opens, I really love too. It's got these gears on it, so it just opens, the same. I can't even really describe how it opens, but it you guys know how smooth I am. But this is one of them that comes with a shitload of tools. The nice thing is I really like the knife. Just got a nice flat straight edge knife on it. And this is a nice little tool. I really like this. Comes with a lot of shit that you don't need as well. Every fucking multi-tool on the planet comes with, well, let's see, where is it? The fucking file that nobody ever fucking uses. But this comes with it. I think this has something like 18 tools total, something like that. Scissors, all sorts of freaking stuff to it. But yet it is still super small, super compact. And this is something that I've been EDCing this a little bit. And it's something that I can actually see myself actually keeping in my EDC rotation. One cool thing that I really, really like about this is it does have a 1/4 inch driver right in the end of it. So you can take your little 1/4-inch bit, put it right in there, and it's when you pull it together, it securely keeps it in there. It clamps it down. So you can get some serious torque on this. That's just a kind of a cool feature. You're not going to be using it every day. Obviously the main part of anybody's EDC is the knife. So like I said, I'm really happy with this knife. But then it's got some cool tools that most people don't generally get in a EDC tool such as this. It's got a little tiny screwdriver. This is a flat blade screwdriver, and then it's also got a little tiny, not a super tiny, but a small Phillips as well. So I really like that. But the only reason I'm bringing this up, I know as I've covered a few multi-tools in the past, is just because I feel like this one is one that I will actually EDC. I will use. This is my other one. Like I said, I brought up this Leatherman that I could use. I do EDC occasionally as well, but you can tell that it is a little bit bigger. And it is not as easy to open with one hand. This doesn't open automatically like the gears with this one does. So it's not as easy to open one-handed. This is a little bit more, it's a little bigger, so you got to have a little bit more grip pliers wise. This is obviously the better pliers. But I'm pretty happy with this little SOG power pint so far. It is sub $50. I think it was like, I got this one for like 49 bucks. I did find it elsewhere for a little bit cheaper, but a lot of places were out of stock. I couldn't find it very easily. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this little unit. You can open it one-handed if you do a little bit of playing around with it. And you can also, it's a little bit more tricky to open one-handed than knife, which the knife's going to be the only other tool you use super often. But you can, a little bit of work and a little bit of getting used to it, you can get it open one-handed. Closing it is a little bit different because there's a lock right here that you have to open up a little bit to get it to push down. The other option is you can open one of the other tools in it and then it closes. But so it's not super one-handed operation, but for me, just in the shop every day, I'm going to use a knife. I'm going to use the pliers. Occasionally I'm going to use a bit driver, shit like that. So sub $50. I think this definitely qualifies as cool gear for me. I mean, I love gear like this. So my review of this so far in the little bit that I've been using it is I'm happy with it, and it passes my my cool gear under $50 test. So this is definitely something that I would recommend for you. So that's all I got to say about that.
What was the model and the cost?
It is the SOG Power Pint. And it is, I believe it is just barely under $50 at like 49 something.
So it's over with tax, huh? It's out. Doesn't count.
Fuck tax.
Fuck you. The one I'm going to do next is actually over $50. It's like $52. Yeah. What's up?
Well,
I do what I want. It's my it's my section box.
Well, I guess I'm not putting your section in next time then.
Bite me. Okay. I know, but I really like, if you're not watching the video, you can't see how this opens, but it's got the gears on it. So it all, each side opens at the same amount. It's pretty slick.
The most important question.
What's that?
Does it have a bottle opener?
Yep, it does. 1 second. Where's it at here? There's like so many freaking tools in this damn thing. Yeah, right here it is. Got your bottle opener right there. And a can opener.
We're gonna have to see open a bottle.
I don't have any.
Does it work? It's got a can opener. You get a can of beer next to you. See if that works.
Actually, the review that I did watch, he said the can opener, it does need a little bit of TLC. It wasn't like super sharp, so I think I'll have to do that before I go to open any cans. And looking at this one, I mean, it's not. It does. Yeah, it is looking like it's going to need a little bit of help, but it would still work. But yep. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that.
Okay. Well, I suppose that's our show.
Okey-dokey then.
Should probably quit before apparently my voice is leaving me.
Yeah,
So-
you don't sound the best, Box.
No, I haven't talked today. I didn't know I sounded like this. So that's the show. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. Be sure to listen to our entire catalog of podcasts on most major podcast providers and also on our website, lifeshortlivefree.com. If you enjoy what we do and want to help support the show, check out our Subscribe Star page for exclusive content and other benefits. If you want to get more involved with the community, join our forum over on lifeshortlivefree.com/community. If you aren't aware, Gears and Beers is streamed live every other Wednesday night at 8:30 Central Time on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and our website. We would love for you to come out and get in on the conversation. Check out our sponsors, Shyworks at shyworks.com and Facebook, and Ballistic Imagery at ballisticimagery.com and Facebook. And that's the show, folks. We're going to get out of here. That's the night. Thanks for stopping by. That's all I have to say about that.
Become ungovernable.
Sam,
Miles-
you're supposed to
Miles says, look up Slob Squad at your own risk on Urban Dictionary.
Well,
All right.
Google images will do you wonders.
All right, guys. Thanks for sticking around. It's been a fun one. We'll see you again in 2 weeks. And until we see you then, remember, life short, live free. God bless. God bless the United States of America.
and defund the ATF.
And repeal the NFA.